time for the Week 12 NFL Power Rankings here on Golic and Golic. Every week we are tasked with telling you fine people who the 5 best teams in the NFL are. And we've had a wide range of chaos go on this NFL season. Take a look at the rankings from last week. The Seahawks, our number 1 team, lose to the number 2 team. We had a heavily weighted NFC West title fight that was close. The Seahawks had a chance to win it at the buzzer with a 61-yard field goal try that fell short. The Patriots got a win. The Colts were on a bye. The Eagles got one of the more impressive wins of the weekend as well. So this conversation, not too complicated, I think, considering 4 of our teams either had a win or a bye. So the question really becomes, how far does Seattle fall in your mind for a game that close despite the 4 Sam Darnold turnovers?
I think we have the same top 5, just a different order. If there was going to be someone who jumped in, I would say it'd be the Denver Broncos for beating Kansas City. But, I mean, listen, Seattle way outgained the Rams. Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, and they still had to foot on a ball, even though it was a 61-yarder, for a potential win at the end of the game, and only lost by 2. So I would certainly put the Rams number 1. Then it's just a matter of how far I drop Seattle and just slide everybody else up. The Colts obviously had the bye, but the only team I would add, but it would be who would I take out, would be Denver, but I don't know if I can take anybody out.
It was a big weekend for defense. I'm with you on that. And the Seahawks, that's the tough part of this game, is like you said, 4 interceptions maybe only highlighted that the best defense in the NFL is probably in Seattle. Like, that group looked like an absolute bunch of world beaters against a Rams offense that we know is certified fresh. Yep. So I think for sure the Rams at number 1, no question there. The Patriots, do they move up to number 2 for you? Or how high, let me ask you this question maybe, how high do the Eagles go coming off that Sunday night win against the Detroit Lions? Detroit had to go outdoors. It was cold. It was windy. And that Eagles defense that, at the beginning of the season, we didn't have Jalen Carter on the field for the Dallas game, and he was a little banged up. He's healthy. Jalen Phillips is there now. It seems like they've really recreated last year's magic up on that defense. Is that enough to start to work them higher in the top 5 and maybe jump a team like the Colts?
I think I would probably jump Philly over the Colts. Philly had a quality win over Detroit, a team known for their offense, and the Philly defense just absolutely shut them down. So I would jump them over the Colts. Then it's just a matter of, is Seattle 4 and the Colts 5? Is Seattle 5 and the Colts 4? I'd be the Rams, the Patriots, Philadelphia, and then if you keep Seattle in, is it Seattle and Colts or Colts and Seattle?
So this is the tough part for me, is Seattle has a clear deficiency now, right? They're struggling to run the football. Lots been talked about this. Greg Olsen brought it up. I heard Mina Kimes and Dominique Foxworth breaking this down. Seattle has a lack of a run game right now that's going to make all the play action, all the heavy personnel stuff they want to do, kind of tough to do. The Rams put a bunch of defensive backs on the field because they weren't worried about getting run on, and it made life really difficult for Sam Darnold. And so now the blueprint is out there for other teams to try and replicate against them. And we always talk about this with teams when you get into December, January football, everyone's trying to attack and highlight your flaws. I would put the Colts at 4 and probably have Seattle at 5. How's that sit with you?
Yeah, I mean, that could work. The Colts play the Chiefs this weekend, so that's a nice test. I'm looking at the teams that are in the top 5, who they're playing and what kind of tests that they have. Patriots at the Bengals. That shouldn't be too hard, but again, it's pro football. Tampa Bay at the LA Rams. That should be a good one. That would give the Tampa Bay some juice if they were to win on the road, or the Rams to sit there and stay at number 1. I'm really, really looking forward to that game. And boy, so many people out of the gate already picking the Cowboys over the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles are a better team.
Yeah, that's another one. I get there's the division familiarity and all that stuff, but that game specifically, Jalen Carter was not on the field for any of that game.
No.
Before we even got the first snap. The first spit gate of the season rendered him meaningless for that team that also had an issue at cornerback that seems to be getting a little bit better as of late, to go along with the improvements they've made elsewhere on that team, specifically the Jalen Phillips trade. So I just don't know if I see that game going the same. Now, offensively, Philadelphia's still got plenty of questions to answer, even though the Lions defense, very good that they saw, and they're going to find a much softer landing space, at least in theory. I want to see this game, to me, Dad, and I don't know about you, will be the big test for that Dallas Cowboys defensive front.
Yes.
Now, where you add Jadeveon Clowney, you add Quentin Williams, and you feel like you improve some against a bad Vegas team. I want to see how that looks now against an albeit beat up Eagles offensive line as well, but one that's at least got more pedigree than what the Raiders trotted out.
Yeah, without question. But Lane Johnson out, Cam Jurgens been nicked up, Landon Dickerson been nicked up. So that is not the same Eagle offensive line, but still a better offensive line than Vegas. This will absolutely be a bigger test for Dallas, which absolutely got better. Make no mistake about it. They got better on defense with the moves of Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson. They absolutely did. And getting Overshawn back as well for his first game. They got better, but I'm just going to pull the reins a little bit. I know this is a big rivalry. Hell, I was in it for 6 years. It's a lot of fun to talk about.
No, it definitely is. It's going to be an exciting game, but I think the fun part about where we're at right now is all these teams, the Rams maybe feel the most complete. The Patriots are building to it, but everyone else, there are flaws that could be exploited by the teams on the outside looking in, like the Broncos, like the Bills, like the Lions or the surging 49ers. So very excited to see that, but that's our top 5.